All right, let's talk about semicolons. Fancy little punctuation mark that people like to use to show that they are sick at essays, but oftentimes it's misused, which makes me sad. The rule for semicolons is very, very simple. If the two things you separate with a semicolon could be independent sentences, you can use a semicolon. If they could not be two separate sentences, then you cannot use a semicolon. Now, of course, if you take just 1 second and you think about what I just said, you could always use a period instead of a semicolon because they could be independent sentences. So the semicolon has its purposes. It might be better than a period if you really want to express two ideas that are connected to each other. Now, is a period really that bad? Does it really separate two ideas in two separate sentences? No. So there's really no reason to use a semicolon. But if you want to use it, you have to know how. Let's take a look at an example which does not use the semicolon correctly. This meets the idea of evil and realizes through this God it gives meaning to why there is pain, sadness, death. Now, of course, I took this from a student, so forgive the writing. But nevertheless, this could be a sentence by itself. You know what couldn't be a sentence by itself that is on the other side of this semicolon? Transcending human knowledge. So what do we have here? Verb, object, that which is being transcended. Who's doing the transcending? We don't know, because there's no subject on this side of the semicolon. If we just erase this right now, we just took this all out, okay? That is not a sentence. Therefore, it shouldn't be on one side of a semicolon. Okay? Now let's go to this fixed example. Same thing. And then we fix what's on the other side of the semicolon by saying, Maria believes that this notion of good transcends human knowledge. So we've got subject, believes, verb, that this notion of good, subject, transcends, verb, human knowledge, object. It's a very simple rule. Just remember, if you have two sentences that could stand by themselves, you can connect them with a semicolon.